The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. Background. Between July 22nd and September 12th, 1942, the German authorities deported to camps or murdered directly around 300,000 Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto. The German authorities granted only 35,000 Jews permission to remain in the ghetto, while more than 20,000 Jews remained in the ghetto in hiding. For the Jews remaining in the Warsaw Ghetto, deportation to the camps seemed inevitable. In response to the deportation, several Jewish underground organizations created an armed self-defense unit known as the Jewish Combat Organization. Another resistance group known as the Jewish Military Union also worked to fight back against the Nazis. At the time of the uprising, the groups had about 750 fighters collectively. In October 1942, SS Chief Heinrich Himmler ordered the liquidation of the Warsaw Ghetto and deportation of its able-bodied residents to forced labor camps. A group of Jewish fighters armed with pistols infiltrated a column of Jews being forced to a transfer point and, at a prearranged signal, broke ranks and fought their German escorts. Most of these Jewish fighters died in the battle, but the attack disoriented the Germans enough to allow the Jews at the transfer point a chance to disperse. Encouraged by an apparent success of the resistance, members of the ghetto population began to construct subterranean bunkers and shelters in preparation for an uprising should the Germans attempt a final deportation of all remaining Jews in the reduced ghetto. The German forces intended to begin the operation to liquidate the Warsaw Ghetto on April 19, 1943. When the SS and police units entered the ghetto that morning, the streets were deserted. Nearly all the residents of the ghetto had gone into hiding places or bunkers. The Uprising. The Jewish Combat Organization commander Mordecai Anelwicz commanded the Jewish fighters of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. Armed with pistols, grenades, many of them homemade, and a few automatic weapons and rifles, the fighters stunned the Germans, and on the first day of fighting, forcing the German forces to retreat outside the ghetto wall. The Germans lost 12 men during the first assault on the ghetto. On the third day of the uprising, the Germans began leveling the ghetto to the ground with explosives to force the remaining Jews out of hiding. Jewish fighters made sporadic raids from their bunkers, but the Germans systematically reduced the ghetto to rubble. The German forces killed Anelwicz and those with him in an attack on their command bunker. The Jewish resistance groups hid or fought the Germans for almost a month. The aftermath. To symbolize the German victory, the Nazis destroyed the Great Synagogue in Warsaw. The Germans had captured 56,065 Jews and destroyed 631 bunkers. He estimated that his units killed nearly 7,000 Jews during the uprising. The German authorities deported another 7,000 Warsaw Jews to the Treblinka extermination camp. The Germans deported almost all remaining Jews to concentration camps and forced labor camps. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising was the largest and symbolically the most important Jewish uprising and the first urban uprising in German-occupied Europe. The resistance in Warsaw inspired other uprisings in ghettos and killing centers across Poland and Germany. Before you move on to the reading questions, be sure to click on this image to watch the video of Benjamin Mead and the burning of the Warsaw Ghetto.